Hello everybody, Liz here, physical therapist and owner of Blue Ridge Biomechanics and the Ride Life. Today we're going to talk about 4 different things that we would change or do for carpal tunnel issues. One of them is working your wrist muscles versus your finger flexor muscles. If you need more information about carpal tunnel specifically and what it is, check out another one of my videos. It'll have a lot of good description of how and what it is. So, wrist muscles. So you have a group of muscles here. They're called your flexor group in your wrists. And there's a couple of those that go just to the base of your wrist and are supposed to move your wrist around. Wrist muscles. Makes sense, huh? So then there are a couple that live here and that move your fingers. Those are the ones that go through your carpal tunnel. Some of us use more of our finger muscles to do wrist exercises and activities versus our wrist muscles. And so one way to check to see if we can isolate our wrist muscles is to have our finger ones relax. So right now my fingers are relaxed. They're nice and curled, but they're just relaxed through this. Excuse me. And then what we do next is I want you to actually bend your wrist. So now my fingers are still relaxed. They're not doing a whole lot. My wrist is bent and they straighten out. If they curl with it, then I know that I'm using my fingers to help me curl my wrist. I don't want it. I want to be able to curl my wrist with my wrist muscles. Making sure that you can do this is imperative for you actually using your wrist muscles for other day-to-day things versus using your finger flexors. How you increase this is that you start putting a little bit of tension on it. Just with the other hand. It's not that much, not that hard, and you'll start to feel these muscles working through here. So that's the number 1 exercise, wrist muscles for wrist activities. Second thing I would do is I would change my posture and position for my work. I would make sure that my wrists are supported whenever I'm working on a computer, not held up. Make sure my elbows are supported in a nice way, not held up as well, and make sure that I have good posture when I'm sitting at work, probably on the front part of your seat. So that's the second thing. First, wrist muscles. Second, your posture at work and positioning. Third thing is working your shoulders. So a lot of times if I don't have good solid shoulder movement or activation or strength, then what's going to happen is I'm going to overuse my hand or overuse my wrist to try to move there and get to that movement. So if I don't want to reach out quite as far, then I reach with my wrist the rest of the way. Versus if I just reached out, then my hand doesn't have to do quite as much. I don't have to grip and pull back quite as intently or quite as difficult and putting as much strain through this part of my forearm and basically putting stress on my carpal tunnel. So making sure my shoulders stay strong. So one easy exercise is that you just stand and you just do shoulder raises. Your shoulder blade muscles should be activated and working. You can do these just even while you're waiting for your food to cook in your kitchen. Just grab a couple cans of soup, one in each hand, nice and easily grip, and you're just doing shoulder raises. If that's easy, then do the full movement up and over your arm, your head, up and over your arm, up and over your head. And that's a nice, simple, easy exercise. So wrist muscles, positioning, and shoulder strength and movement. Not only can you do it straight, but you can also do it out to the side. Okay? This might cause a little bit of issues in your hands. If it does, bend your elbows and go up, or arms out and go up like this. It's basically just putting your nerve a little bit on slack. You can still hold some weight through it and going up and down. It's going to make you feel your shoulder blade muscles through here and a little bit through your shoulders. That, along with doing some neck exercises, if your neck is stiff, is going to play a huge role in you feeling better on and off the bike. Cheers, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day.